welcome to Young Kizzy, the one YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button down below and turn on the bell icon. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section.
Alola Kenayo, Bally has failed. Yeah, the police service is at its lowest. It's crazy that even where there's overwhelming evidence, the police is unable to arrest the UPND cadres. But not only will they fail to arrest the UPND cadres, but actually they'll go to the extent of beginning to arrest those who are just protecting and defending themselves. E.g., what happened in Chawama. We have police raiding a hotel where President Bran Mundubil and his running mate were. And when asked by the running mate, Honorable Makebi Zulu, to ask the policeman to say, is there a problem? And the police officer is like, where's the what problem? You can cry if you don't laugh, so we just have to laugh. Clearly there's something wrong. I don't know if the police are deliberately pushing citizens to a certain stretch. We're even afraid of saying exactly what, because apparently you see someone coming and say I'm inciting, and so since I don't want to incite anything, we you know what I mean. It's like the police are deliberately trying to frustrate citizens, and to what end is my question, because you as police officers, your allegiance should not be to a president, especially one who claimed when he was coming into power that he would come and fix you being overused by the PF. He would fix that so that you become professional and independent. Are you professional and independent? From where I'm sitting, you are even actually becoming a threat to the very peace that you are supposed to maintain. And I pray that you rethink this trajectory you're taking, because some of us would love to continue living peacefully in our country. You see, you cannot continue infringing and stepping on our rights as the opposition, forgetting that we are also citizens of this country. In South Africa, people are being taught to go back home and fix their own countries. And we are trying to participate in a democratic space so that we can fix our country. And then you want to create an impression in us so that we are afraid to even stand up for ourselves, because the police are willing to take victims and turn them into the perpetrators. The same thing that happened to JJ Banda, who's today biting you. You know, because JJ Banda was a victim turned into a villain. And before long, he was going through court cases and things like that for things that had already been processed through the courts of law, which is not even allowed. So let's talk about the rule of law that you spoke so much of, that you came to fix. You haven't fixed the rule of law. In fact, you just took the whole script and tore up the whole thing and threw away, and you're just freestyling right now. It's like the rule of law to you is whatever and anything that actually the ruling party feels like doing. And that's not how you manage a nation. That is failure in itself, because you are failing to realize that what you're doing is not only being unfair to the opposition, but you're actually ultimately going to destroy the entire nation. And that's the greatest failure of all, if you ask me. To fail to realize that what you're doing is not only going to harm those, but will eventually harm you, especially those who support this. You are supporting what is happening to Will Gary, because today it's Will Gary who looks like he's on the other side of the UPND. What happens when it's you tomorrow? Have you thought about it? Because we don't always agree as human beings. There will always be a point when we don't agree. So what you should realize is that whatever is happening to Bulgaria, should you reach a point where you want to disagree with what the government will be doing, that's how they will treat you. Is that how we treat each other in a democratic space? No, that's not how we treat each other. Look, you don't own anybody. You don't own anybody. You shouldn't be entitled to anything. And that is why you're failing. That's why you're a failure government and a failure party, because you are too entitled over things that you're not supposed to be entitled over. You are too, you act like you own people. You don't own anybody. You don't own anybody. We are not your subjects. Okay. This is not a kingdom and you're not a subject. You're the king. You do whatever you want to do. No, no, no. This is a democracy where you're supposed to allow people to choose what they prefer over what they don't want, meaning including you. You have to be subjected. I heard somebody suggesting, no, maybe President Hakainde will be unopposed. No, 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 no. No, no, he cannot and he will not. Okay. And someone say, well, we won't stop you. We will stop you this time around. I know you've had a lot of situations where you have won, if I would say that. You have done a lot of unfair things and you have seemingly won. But this is one battle we're telling God Almighty that no, 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 this one mustn't be lost. This one cannot be lost. We must remove the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema from governance of this nation if we want to ensure that this nation continues having a hope of democracy. Because at the rate we are heading, you wake up one day in this country, all of us will be completely controlled. Even you churches. I've seen certain churches aligning with the UPN. I'm like, how blind? How blind are you? Like, that's why one time I did a video and said the church is dead. The church is dead because you're no longer the morality standard, but you're just also just like that man of God I used to respect. And right now, when I look at you, I'm like, yeah, Maya. If I was in your church, I would have quit your church. Actually, that's how far it has gone because you simply are refusing to face reality and protect the interests of the citizens over that which the government is doing. Anyway, Bushik. But Bally has failed and he must be removed. And we must vote in Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu on NRPUP Pelambi.
Oh my goodness.